All right, hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today we're going to be talking about Medical Properties Trust stock. The reason being is because yesterday it went up 18%. And what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to talk to you guys about the news, why exactly Medical Properties Trust, ticker symbol MPW, went about 20% higher or so, 18-20%. We're going to talk about some recent kind of issues that were brought about that are being solved by this current kind of fix and why the stock rebounded in terms of an 18% gain. We can also go through Medical Properties price history because we haven't made a video on MPW in a very long time on this channel. So we'll do that. We'll talk about some past gross profit, operating income, and net income. And I'll disclose kind of my position and how I feel about MPW as a whole with this news. So this video is all surrounding Medical Properties Trust. If you guys do enjoy, please do remember to subscribe. We are currently up to 4,232 subscribers. I just want to go here and show you. We haven't made a video on MPW since October 26, 2023. It was almost, that's like 6 months ago, half a year. So I'm excited to bring you guys this video on MPW. Finally, something positive about this company. And just before we get started, I want to say I do own MPW. I own 115 shares. I'm currently down about 50% on my position. As you can see, I'm kind of excited to create this video because I do like MPW as a long-term hold. I have a current average share price of $8.99 with a current yield on cost. If I could see, it says here about 6.68%. I'm not sure if that is entirely true. They did have a dividend cut down to 15 cents, but that is old news. Today we're talking about the new news. We're talking about how the stock went up 18% yesterday. And the reason for that, let's talk about that here. So Medical Properties Trust, MPW stock settled 18% higher, reaching a new range highs on Wednesday after a long time. Non-payer customer decided to sell their physician network to United Health Group. So a long-term customer. Who is this long-term customer? This development is expected to give Belgerd Hospital operator Steward Health Systems the ability to repay all of its past rent bills to Medical Properties Trust. Now, okay, I don't know what this Belgerd this word meant, so I searched it up on Google. It said in very difficult situation. So basically, in very difficult situation, long story short, Steward Healthcare, the largest tenant, as it said here, the company's largest tenant, Steward Healthcare Systems of MPW, is selling their physician network to United Health Group. And why is this good for MPW? It's because Steward Healthcare has been the center of MPW's problems. They are the largest tenant for MPW, and they were facing a lot of financial difficulty, which was not enabling them to repay MPW. And with the selling of this physician network to United Health Group, Steward Health is going to be able to repay MPW Medical Properties Trust for kind of the debt that they owe to them. Now, if we go a little down here, let's read a bit about the debt. So it says here, at the time, Steward owed Medical Properties Trust about $50 million in unpaid rent through the end of 2023. Now it says here, under the new agreement, Medical Properties provided Steward with a $60 million bridge loan. So this is another loan of $60 million that would kind of help in Steward's turnaround here, as they mentioned. Now, this is the key point. The Dallas-based Steward will now likely pay back the $50 million back in rent from 2023, plus $55 million or less in deferred rent from 2024, in addition to the $60 million bridge loan. So Steward, with the selling of their physician network to United Health Group, they're hoping that they will be able to repay Medical Properties Trust. Now, this was a huge kind of uncertainty for all those and myself who were holding MPW, as I hold 115 shares, as I mentioned. It was a huge uncertainty whether or not Steward Health was going to be able to repay. And the fact that they just did this is kind of, it is not absolutely certain, but it's pointing in the right direction that Steward Health is going to be able to repay MPW for all the money they've gave. And that's really good because over the past little while, let's see the short term, you can see here that the total revenue for MPW has been negative. The net income was negative $663 million. And that's a large part because their underlying companies, their hospitals, weren't being able to pay and repay for what they owned on the properties. So now it's great that we've seen this. This is very bullish news for MPW, and I'm not sure how the stock is going to react in the short term. Of course, we were up about 18%, it said yesterday. I'm not sure if we will continue to trend up. We can kind of look at the trend here, but you can see MPW is not necessarily new to these big drawdowns. Even in 2007, it went from a $15 stock all the way down to a $3 stock, and you can see here in 2022, it went from a $22 stock all the way back down to basically the exact same marker, about a $3 stock once again. Now, over the past month, you can see here it's been up and down. And in the past 5 days, we had this really big jump of about 18% coming off this really good news. Now, one thing I do have in mind is I have MPW's kind of their financials all the way dating back to 2009, as you could see right here, and I can't highlight, but it's all the way back to 2009. And you could see when I look at their revenue tab, which is the one highlighted here, you could see that it is constantly growing, even up until 2022. But in 2023, you could see that it kind of took a dive here, almost halving from 1.5 billion to $871 million. And their net income is something to keep in mind. Look, from 2009, it was growing fairly well. You can see it started here at about 36 million, went all the way up to about $900 million in 2022. But then their net income, they had a pretty poor kind of last quarter of 2023, Q4 2023, where they reported a negative earnings of $663 million. I really wonder if that has a lot to do with the fact that their underlying tenants weren't paying rent, and so they were paying out of pocket, and so they put this in their net income, the negative $663 million, in order to kind of avoid paying taxes and everything like that. That could be a strategy that they used, but I don't really think they lost $663 million in terms of their overall value. I think that's what they are still being needed to be being paid back, and that is going to help in the form that Steward Healthcare is going to be able to provide. It looks like about $150 million in a repayment to Medical Properties Trust. So this was just a short little video to kind of go over what this 18% gain was yesterday and the news surrounding MPW, that Steward Healthcare is going to now be able to potentially pay back MPW. There's a high likelihood of them being able to pay back MPW for a lot of the money that they own. This was a huge concern going into the past if you were an MPW investor, so this is really good to hear. As you can see, MPW, they hold about $18.3 billion in their total portfolio, which has gone down. They were up to 444 properties. Now they're down to 439 properties. They are in 9 countries. And just to kind of point out what kind of reach they have, this is just within the United States alone, showing you how many different kind of hospitals they have that are generating income. As you can see right here, I'm really going crazy with the up and down here, but you can see that they're in many different states along with 9 different countries as well. So this is not a small REIT by any means. This is a hospital REIT. I'm pretty sure it's like the second largest hospital REIT in the world. So currently I'm holding my shares. I'm not looking to sell. I'm not currently buying any more shares, but this news is great. Hopefully this pushes the stock even higher and we can get back to potentially some dividends, as it mentions at the bottom of this article here. If I can find it, it kind of references to something about it may not be long before MPW Medical Properties Trust can raise its dividend. The company slashed its quarterly dividend from 29 cents per share to 15 cents per share in the summer of 2023. So they're saying it might not be long before they raise their dividend once again. Again, some more bullish news, but we do need to see some positive markers in the next earnings call. If we do see that, I believe they will be raising their dividend once again. So this is my opinion on MPW. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope it brought you some value. If it did, please remember to like this video. If you guys don't mind, it's totally up to you. You guys do what you want. But yeah, please do as well subscribe if you haven't yet done so. We're up to 4,232 subscribers for any more updates on MPW long-term stocks and some high dividend payers. We do it all pretty much now, which is very exciting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do take care, and I hope to see you guys in the next